Hello and welcome back to Online Music with Mr. Holzer. Today we're going to continue our work with Soundtrap.com. Last time we had a chance to go over exactly what we were seeing when we open up the studio in Soundtrap. Today let's dive a little bit deeper into how we can go ahead and start to make a full track of music just by adding a few different layers and different instruments. Let's get started. Here we have our home page for Soundtrap.com. If you have any other issues accessing this website and getting to this page, check out my previous videos or take a look at the links in the description below. As we can see, if I scroll down into the My Projects folder, I can see the tutorial project that I created in the last video. Let's go ahead and open it by clicking the Studio button next to the name. We can already see the drum track and then the piano track that I started making yesterday. After I started making the video, I decided that this piano would sound better as a bass. After I turned this track into a bass track, I noticed that after the notes are done, we can see the notes represented here by these lines on the purple bar. There is this big empty space. I could fairly easily shorten this clip so it only includes the notes that I played by moving my mouse over to the end of the clip and very carefully finding where the cursor turns into the Adjust End tool. I click and drag it back to where the notes stop, and then I have a little section that I'm able to loop. Just to review from last time, if I want some music that I played to repeat itself, all I have to do is put my cursor over the loop symbol, click, and drag it, and it will repeat itself. Another review, if I want the whole section of music, all the instruments to repeat themselves, I just have to click on this bar at the top or click over here on the cycle mode on off or the loop on off button. When the bar is purple, it means that the region will loop itself. You'll notice that if I play right towards the end, it will go back to the beginning. Great. I have a really good start to a beat just with 2 notes with a bass sound and some drums that I made with the Patterns Beatmaker, which again, you can find in the middle over here or by adding a drum track. Let's try adding another instrument so I can show you how we can move some clips around and cut them into pieces to customize the music that we're making. First, I'm going to click on Add New Track over on the left-hand side. Then, I'm going to pick an instrument that I think might be interesting for my music. I'm going to go to Synthesizers, which is sort of a keyboard sound, and then click where it says Leads or where the picture of the instrument is to change the sound. Now I have my list of all the different sounds I can choose from. As I scroll through, if I find one that I think I might like just based off the name, I can click on the play button next to it and see what it sounds like. I'm not sure I like that one. Let's try another one. That one sounds cool, and Space Church has free under it, which means anybody with a Soundtrap account can pick this sound. I'm going to look at the keyboard and see which letters are the ones that I might want to play. It might take some experimentation to find out which notes on the piano keyboard will sound good with the other notes you picked for other instruments. In future videos, we'll talk a little bit more about playing piano so we can understand what exactly we're playing. For now, it's best that we just use our ears to guide our music. I just spent a few minutes playing around with this Space Church sound setting and the keyboard to see what might sound good with my track. I'm going to go ahead and record a couple of clips that I think might work, and then I'll show you how to move them around to fit the music. I found 2 sounds on the keyboard that I thought sounded good with my backing track. To record, I'm going to make sure the cursor in the track is at the beginning. I can either drag it back and forth by clicking on it and moving it, or pressing this stop button twice. Now that I have my instrument open, let's try to record one of the two sounds I thought might fit with my music. When I click the record button, I'll see 8 beats of count-in. Though I only recorded about 4 beats of music, now I have a clip that I think sounds good with the first part. I'm going to do the same thing I did when I edited my bass. Find the adjust end cursor and drag it back to only fit the notes that I played. Now that I've edited my first idea, I'm going to move it out of the way so when I record again, only my second idea is recorded. To move a clip, I just find a spot in the middle where my cursor isn't a loop, it isn't an adjustment tool. I click and I drag the whole clip over. Now the beginning of the track is clear, so when I record again, my music won't get recorded over itself. Let's record again so I can get my second idea down. I'm going to send the cursor back to the beginning, open up my instrument, and then start recording. To stop the recording, I actually just press spacebar. Now let's take a look at what the Space Church track looks like after I recorded 2 parts. We noticed that it pushed my tracks together into one long track. That's not quite what I intended, and that's okay. Sometimes we're going to make mistakes and things will happen that we have to fix. I actually did this on purpose to show you how we can cut apart tracks and move them around to suit our needs. If I put this long purple line where I want the track to be cut right before my first idea that I moved to the end, all I have to do is go to Edit and then Split Region. We're also going to see a keyboard shortcut, which is just a thing that you could do on the keyboard without going to the Edit menu, of Control-E. If I press Control-E or go to Edit, then Split Region, it's going to cut apart my clips. Let's see what happens when I click it. We notice it's cut apart, and I can now move just that one little section around. I'm going to move it back to the beginning where I wanted it in the first place. Then I'm going to adjust the end of this longer clip by finding that spot where I can get the adjust, dragging it back. Now my 2 ideas are side by side in the correct order. If I want my 2 ideas to connect, all I have to do is select them both by clicking a spot where there's no click and drawing a box to connect them. Then if I go to Edit, I can click Merge Regions. That'll put them back together so I can loop them if I want to. Just to review the 3 ways that we can move clips around. First, by clicking and dragging on the center of a clip, I can drag it around. Second, by putting the long purple line in a spot, then selecting Split Region, I will cut my 2 clips in 2. Then, by clicking and dragging, I can create a box that will select any clips in the box, and then I can actually push them together and sew them back together with the Merge Regions. Now I want this to repeat itself, so again, I'm going to go over loop and drag it all the way to the end. Now I have 3 instruments playing 3 different things, and I have the start to a great track. Let's see how it sounds so far. It's kind of cool. It's a relaxed, spacey vibe that I think is really pleasing to listen to. Now, if you don't like it, go ahead and try to make something of your own. And maybe I'll go back and edit some of this stuff later to make it sound even better. For now, let's explore another cool feature that can help us get started right away, even if you're not so comfortable with figuring out how to play sounds on your piano or by using your computer keyboard.